I have the distinct honor, and actually he chose me, I'm not sure why, but he chose me to introduce him, and he's going to get to speak, so I'll try not to steal his thunder. We're now going into the Hall of Fame inductees, and I get to introduce Dave Feroleto. Dave's wife, Corbin, is a neuropsychologist. Corbin, I need your card later. He has two sons, Galvin, 12, and Cole, 9, who are both here in attendance. He's a senior vice president for investments at UBS Financial Services. He attended Providence College and was a 4-year letterman at midfield. He was honored by the U.S. Lacrosse as U.S. Lacrosse Coach of the Year for Georgia in 2001, and he was selected Georgia Lacrosse Man of the Year in 2009. He moved to Atlanta in 1991 after playing a few years in the club league. He started coaching at Murphy Candler Park in '96. He began teaching and started at Lovett and started the Lovett program. Under his tutelage, Lovett won 3 state championships and had a 52-game in-state winning streak over 3 seasons. So stepping down as head coach, he's continued to be part of the program by coaching at all levels from middle school through high school. He has remained a consistent influence in the program at Lovett, which has now won 7 state championships and 3 runner-ups. The program has a record of 221 and 61 since inception. He's developed many All-State, All-American players, some of whom have gone on to play colleges such as Duke, Notre Dame, Denver, Washington and Lee, Bucknell, Fairfield, Providence College, Tufts, and other university club programs. Along with Damien Cavanaugh, who is also being honored tonight, he was one of the founding members of the Georgia High School Coaches Lacrosse Association, which at the time was comprised of coaches from Woodward, Darlington, and Westminster. This group did outreach, including assisting players, parents, and coaches with the nuances of getting a program started and embraced by their schools. Roswell, Chattahoochee, Walton, Pope, and Pace all benefited from their knowledge, his knowledge. Dave offered his counsel on fundraising, equipment purchasing, field locations, finding coaches. He was also involved with the sanctioning that Jeff just discussed with GHSA. Over the last 11 years since leaving coaching at Lovett, he's stayed very involved in supporting programs beyond Lovett. He's coached and developed players with the Walton Junior Raiders, Pope Junior Greyhounds, Banquet program, and Atlanta Youth programs. I have to tell one quick story. It's not a joke, it's serious. Damien, close your ears. In the mid-'90s, when Dave started the Lovett program, he and I became good friends. I was a lacrosse snob. Who was this guy from Providence? What did he want to teach us? I always supported Lovett and the growth of lacrosse, but I didn't foresee how well Coach Feroleto was going to do with the Lovett lacrosse program. They had an okay year in 1999. Then March 24th of 2000 happened. Westminster at Lovett on TV. Hal Whiteman, by the way, was the play-by-play guy. Lovett was 4-2, Westminster was 2-1. I said, well, this is going to be a win for Westminster. Final score, Lovett 15, Westminster 0, blank, goose egg. Coach Feroleto had a run. My son Michael, who's not here, was on that team. And to this day, he will not watch that tape. David Feroleto.
Thank you. Wow, there's a lot more people up here than it seemed like down there. Thank you, Coach Buck. This means a lot to have you introduce me. It's been a long time since our Murphy Candler days. There are a lot of people in the room I'd like to thank. Most importantly, the ones I want to start off with first are old players that have come out tonight, and all the players that I've worked with over the years. But there's a number of them here tonight. I just want to thank them for their hard work and commitment to their skill and to their love of the game, which, because of that, is a large reason why I'm standing here tonight. I also need to put a big thank you out to the parents. As all of us know, start programs at various locations in the past, parents are a big part of it. And there's a large number of parents, Lovett parents, that have showed up tonight. And because of their push and their energy and their effort to get lacrosse established at Lovett. Again, one of the reasons that's allowed me to be here tonight. So thank you, parents, for everything you've done. I need to give a huge thank you to Coach Busick, the lacrosse coach at Lovett. I assume everyone in the room here knows that, and the entire Lovett staff. I've continued to be involved with Lovett since I've changed careers, but the dedication and hard work that Coach Busick has provided to the Lovett program to keep the tradition strong has made means a great deal to me. So Coach Busick, I appreciate all the energy and time and commitment you have put towards the program to keep it where it is. So thank you. It's interesting, you come to events like this and award ceremonies like this, and a lot of times I think the wrong people might be getting acknowledged. And the person who I think really should be acknowledged for this award really is a lot of times the spouses of a coach. And I need to really spend a moment and acknowledge that. Over the years, I can't tell you how many events I've missed because of coaching. The sacrifices that my wife has made are numerous. Our anniversary is the first week of May. If you know anything about Georgia lacrosse, the first week of May is right when things get a lot of fun out there. And fortunately, Lovett's been pretty active in that first week of May. And I haven't been pretty active with our anniversary in the first week of May. So, honey, thank you for everything. I actually have two speeches. So you all can tell me, you want to hear this speech or this speech?
The shorter one.
Shorter one? This actually is the shorter one, which is a good pick. Before I actually start the speech, another shout out for the UNC UMass game. I'm not doing this for Sorrel. I'm not up here trying to pitch Sorrel, but I am saying this is a huge deal for the lacrosse community in Atlanta, and we need to show some numbers out there. There's a lot of people in this room who love the game. We need to try to put some numbers in that stadium. Not many people know this, but Atlanta right now is down to one of two locations to host the ACC lacrosse championships. That would be a phenomenal coup for our town to have the 4 teams from the ACC coming and competing in Atlanta. One of the deciding factors for the ACC in selecting whether it's going to be us or Philly is the type of commitment that they see and the energy level that they see in Atlanta. So I'm hoping that we can get some people out there, because I would hate to not have the ACC in Atlanta because we just can't get bodies out there. So February 16th at Kennesaw, go to Sorrel's shop, buy stuff, and get tickets. So we picked the short speech, so I'll make it short. This is probably the more serious speech, but this is the shorter one. Lacrosse grassroots stories. Everyone in the room has a lacrosse grassroots story, and I think Coach Buck probably has the most lacrosse grassroots stories. I just want to share a little bit about the Lovett grassroots story. It started with parents and kids coming up to me and saying, will you coach a team? Will you start a team? And you know, the love of the game with me, it was a pretty easy sell for them to get me committed. I was able to back away, thankfully, from coaching baseball, and they let me bow out of that and actually started the program. And interestingly enough, the school wouldn't even allow us to play on campus or let us use the name Lovett. So our first year, we actually had to get in my car. I had to drive kids back and forth to a horse park where the kids got out of the car, went out to a horse field, and we held practice. We did that for a while, and I can remember specifically a coach, you all can guess what sport he probably coached, said, oh, I'm not worried about this lacrosse thing, it's just like ultimate frisbee, it'll be gone in 2 years. And I can remember it clear as day. With all the hard work and commitment that the players put in, the energy that the parents provided, and then just all of our love for the sport, really created the birth of the Love of Lacrosse program, and I thank all those involved to help that happen. The lacrosse movement that happened at Lovett is an important part of the tradition of lacrosse. 30 years ago, lax was not a mainstream sport, and because of that, it had an aura about it. This aura was part of the excitement of the sport and became the bond that we all shared. It wasn't about winning as much, but it was about being a part of something special, something unique. Everyone who played back then respected and admired each other for breaking away from playing traditional sports and trying something new, something different. We all quickly fell in love with the game, but more importantly wanted to share our enthusiasm for the sport. We had a chip on our shoulder that lax wasn't getting the respect it deserved, and we all went on crusades to get that respect. Many people in this room have been part of that crusade to get that respect. Well, fast forward to today, I can say we're pretty far along of achieving that respect, to the point where lacrosse is becoming, if not already is, a mainstream sport. And that's a major accomplishment over the last 30 years. However, with that success of reaching that goal, there become some new challenges. And the challenge that is sensitive to me is to keep that aura and that bond and that enthusiasm for the sport alive. The enthusiasm and bond that we had 30 years ago, because we were playing a sport that people are like, what are you doing? Why would you play that? That camaraderie that we started 30 years ago, we need to keep that culture alive. I don't have the answer on how to do it, but I do know it's not going to be done through emphasizing winning games or getting your kid to go play in college. That's not going to be it. The only way for it to really survive is to just continue to promote the love of the game. So I want to thank everyone in the room for your commitment to promoting the love for the game. And I want to thank the Georgia Lacrosse Foundation for their efforts in not only promoting this, continuing to promote the sport of lacrosse, but most importantly, again, promoting that love of the game and to work as hard as we can to keep that aura and that bond, lacrosse bond, aura and camaraderie that everyone here knows what I'm talking about, keeping that alive. So thank you all very much. One last thing, I really only had one speech. That was a trick I used to do when I was still teaching at school. And I would do that to the kids just to get their attention. So hopefully by doing that I got your attention.